Welcome to another episode, everyone. And this is part 2 of the CO woman, correctional officer, female correctional officer right here, gets caught in a twisted love affair with an inmate. She got fired. You all asked for a part 2. I wasn't going to do a part 2 because part 1 didn't get enough views for me to do a part 2. That's just the way it goes. So I wasn't going to do it, but specific people asked for it. And then even asked that I continue to give relationship advice as I do part 2. I don't know about that. Part 1 didn't go over so well. I got into a little situation. People didn't really like the fact that me saying I was not receiving steak and macaroni and cheese. Y'all trying to get me in more trouble. But hey, I got to give the people what they want. So here we go. Part 2, this lady here left a good man. Left her husband or boyfriend, I'm sure it wasn't even his child, that he was taking care of because she said she got bored. Got bored with him taking care of business, going to work every day and then coming home, providing and protecting his family. She got bored. So she went and had a love affair with an inmate. Like I said, you can't trust them.
Money, you get your retirement, you get your pension. What's after that? You retire at 55, half your life's gone, and now you want to live your life. Why not live now? And I always wanted someone that was, I don't know, like for me, I'm gonna be honest, like guys that had that background, they hadn't had that motivation, that hustle to want to do something more. Let's get a business. Because I've dated men who did time in jail before, okay, had a way big setback, and they're ahead in life more than any other guy that was doing a 9 to 5 and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Had college degrees. And I just felt like, you gotta want something more out of your life. You just can't never settle. And that's how I was feeling with the civilian guys I was dating, But like I said, to each his own. I'm not judging nobody for that. That's how I was at one point. Just go to work, retire, and that's it.
Yeah, it just feels like if I was addicted to...
Lady, knock it off. See, you know what I mean? They're no good. This internet has 4s and 304s. Thinking that they're hot stuff. You're a 2, a 3, maybe a 4. As I said before, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't with these people. Here she has a good man going to work and coming home, taking care of business, providing, but it's not enough for her. She wants more. They always want more. Again, I recall just recently watching a video of a woman talking about a doctor, saying that all he wanted was to be a doctor, and he was a doctor. He was already a doctor, but she talking about he doesn't want any more. I mean, they just eviscerated her in the comments. She said he didn't want anything else out of life. He was just cool with just being a doctor. Man, making $1 million a year. Then went to school for 20 years to be a doctor, and she's saying he's not motivated to do anything else. He's working all day already at the hospital. What else can he do? Learn another trade? How? But it's never enough. Here we have a situation where a man's going to work, coming home, taking care of his family, and she's sitting here making excuses, excusing her 304 behavior by saying, well, you don't want more out of life. It's like you're 55 years old, just going to go to work, come home, and then retire at 55, and then you're going to start living life. Well, that's what people do. We have to go to work to provide for ourselves and our family until we're 55, 65. Unless we get a business, we're entrepreneurs or what have you. But other than that, this is the common thing, but it's not enough for her. But what gets me is she's complaining about this, but then it goes to an inmate. It's not like she went from him to Usher. She went to an inmate who's not giving her anything, who doesn't have a job at all. I've seen inmates hustle and get out and be further ahead than other individuals. Yes, of course. That happens all the time. But this individual at this time is in prison. He isn't out and getting ahead of anyone else that's out. So you're talking about his potential, what he can possibly get out and do, versus what you already have right now, someone who is doing. Not hypothetically, not the possibility, not what he may do, because this dude can get out and never want to talk to you or see you again in life. And you done gave up someone who has been there for you. For this dude who's just carrying his own because he's in prison. Again, a woman will sacrifice her happiness. A woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. Give up her whole family. And a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family. He'd give up his happiness to just go to work every day and come home and live a mundane life. But as long as he's taking care of wife and the kids, he's happy and he still feels like a man. Come home, drink a beer and watch the game at the 12-hour shift and eat a burger, and he's fine. We're simple people. We're simple beings. That's not enough for them. That's not enough for her. She wants some excitement. She want to be in a car chase. She want the man driving and getting in the police chase. So to get her wet, to have her adrenaline going, to be with a bad boy. Nice guys, you always gonna finish last. Believe that.
Candy, I would work at the candy store. You know, you sort of had this thing for bad boys, and then you go work in the prison. It just feels like, you know, maybe that would have been the worst place for you to go.
It was. Because we was joking, me and my buddy, we were joking. Like, man, they like, Abby, why you gonna work at the jail? You know everybody down there. You from the city. But a lot of people know people in jail. You know, especially when you raised in Pittsburgh or you from the city, you know people. You're gonna know people down there. That's just the nature of the job. But for me, I knew a lot of people down there.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, you would go out, you would hang out, you knew people in the town, that you could find a man anywhere, realistically. Why jail?
Thought it was interesting. Definitely interesting. Yeah, like you're right. You know, I used to think to myself, you know what I mean?
Ratchet.
I can get any man I want. You know what I mean? I can.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. No, you cannot get any man you want. What is she talking about? What is wrong with these people? They're just, bro, this internet, TikTok, and Instagram, Facebook, got these women really believing that they are dimes, they are tens, that they can get any man that they want. She just said she can get any man that she wants. You're lying. You cannot. You cannot get a man who makes six figures, is in shape, decent looking, intelligent, and bright, financially stable, or rich. He doesn't want you. No way. What are you talking about? This is her at her best. Hair done up. She's on the show. They did her up. She did herself up, whatever. And right now, I mean, whatever, I'm not going to rate her, man, but whatever. She average, bro. Knock it off. Now, see? She should know better, but this is how delusional they are, even when they know better. She said herself in part one that women that are fives on the street are tens, they're in prison. They're tens because these dudes have been locked up 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, 25 years, 30. They will take a pig with a wig. If you ain't 380, you ain't a lady. They take whatever. So they have these women in there thinking that they're Beyonce in her prime. They have these women thinking that they're J-Lo. You might have a little body like J-Lo, but a face like hell no. But you can't tell them that because these dudes in prison then pump their head up. It's like the women on the street, the dudes in their DMs then pump their head up. Yes, he'll want to get down with you. Women say, I can have any man I want. Like she just said. Or I'm single by choice. No, you're not. You're single because the man that you want doesn't want you. Because if he did, you would take it immediately. That's why you're single. You're just psyching yourself out. She can have any man she wants. She just triggered me. No, you can't.
Talk to anybody I want. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as a humble perspective.
No, you're not humble. And you're dead wrong.
Maybe I haven't come across that guy.
You're damn right. I mean, hey, she all right, man. She cool. You're a beautiful sister. I love my sisters. I'm not trying to clown. I'm really not. She's a beautiful sister. I'm just saying, knock it off. My goodness. She's pumping. She's inflating her looks. I'm not going to say she's inflating her worth. She can be worth the world. Your worth is not determined by your looks. So I don't know what she's worth, what her insides are, what her soul says. From what we're listening to, not much, because she cheated on someone who was taking care of her for someone who was not. But cheating, period, whether you cheat on someone, whether you upgrade it or not, is a despicable act. Disloyalty is something that I can never tolerate. Her character is not of sound. It's not sound character. It cannot be if you cheated. Then you're trying to justify it by saying that all he was doing was working and coming home. And then you think that you a 10. No, in prison you are. Remember, you even said on the street, you're 5, or women can be a 5 on the street, be a 10 in prison. You're describing yourself.
Yeah, I know he's out there.
With all due respect.
He's out there, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, he is. But he don't want you.
It was frowned upon. I knew I never did it, but I still did. You know, he was just somebody that caught my attention.
Did you ever go home like, what am I doing?
No.
Yeah.
No.
This is going too far.
Hell no.
I'm bringing them food.
Yes.
She ain't give a damn.
And then you get back and you just like...
She didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
How long were you a CO for?
I was only down there for about a year and like 6 months.
How was the overall experience?
And keep them closed, huh?
It was a good experience. I love my job. I love being a
closed for a
CO.
year.
It was a good experience. You had good days, you had bad days. It's about how you made your day. That was up to you to determine how your day was
You know
going
how
to
you
go.
made your day.
Do you speak to me a little bit about the double standard, right? Here's a guy that you were interested in as a woman, and he is an inmate, and you come on to him. What if the roles were reversed and a man is working and he's interested in a woman inmate? How do you think that double standard will play out?
Be automatically defined as a creep. You'll be a predator. If I was a male CO that came towards or gravitated towards a female inmate, you're automatically looked at as a creep. You know, the double standards is crazy. You're looked at as someone as, you know, oh, what is wrong with you? You need to lose your job. You know, society will cook you. You know, they will cook you for something like that.
Do what?
But me being a female CO, liking a guy inmate, people like, oh yeah, this, you know, I would do it too. I would fall for him too. You know, I would do this. I get it. I see where you're coming from. dudes DMing me, I don't know, talking about, oh, can you put me in cuffs and stuff like that? You know, can you do this with me? I would love to get to know you. I think if the roles were reversed, we wouldn't even be talking right now. No, of course not. No.
You ever heard of a situation like that?
It happens in jail. Yeah, it does happen in jail. But yeah,
She's right about that. Of course, there are double standards all over society as it relates to men and women. Teachers, women teachers who have inappropriate relationships with minors, be it 14-year-old boys, 15-year-old boys, 16-year-old boys. It's looked at different. It's looked at like the boy did something right, like he scored. You knocked down a teacher, you scored with a teacher. Whereas if a man does it to a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old girl, it will not be looked at the same way. And it should not be, but it shouldn't be looked at that way with either. The same way that she is describing the man being looked at as a creep because he finds a woman in there that he's attracted to, just human nature, as she said, then she should be looked at as a creep right now for what she did. She should be looked at as a predator. You preyed upon someone who was vulnerable, someone who was going to take you up on that offer because he's locked up. And you approached him, told him you were attracted to him and all that. He wasn't on you. You were on him. So why is she not considered a predator? You got him at his weakest moment when he's in prison and needs help, needs support, needs someone to be there for him. And you all in his face and you're a woman. What is he going to do? Exactly what he did. So you took advantage of a situation. It's not going to be looked at like that.
After I heard about the CO that was down there, you know, having sex with the female inmates, you know, we seen that, we were showed that it was on the news. It was a prime example of this is very frowned upon. You know, we're not going to tolerate this zero tolerance policy, you know. So, yeah, I was warned about it, you know.
Yeah, what did he do? Did he have sex with the girl?
I don't know. In the article, it said that they had some type of sexual contact or
we don't want to hear that. What
oral
you
sex
do?
or something like that. I don't know what it was, but I'll have to go back and read that. But yeah.
What did you do, girl?
Was it consensual?
So in jail, there's no such thing as consensual sex in any prison institution at all.
Break that down for me.
Okay, so if you're a
It's
CO
simple.
and you're having sex with female inmates, and the female inmate says, okay, well, you have permission to come in my cell and do whatever you want to do with me. You know, you can come on in there. Come on, let's go. She consents to it, even though she said yeah, and you're okay with going in there, it's still a zero tolerance policy. I believe that's a criminal charge too, as well.
Did people sort of know? Did other people catch on that you guys are kind of like a thing?
Favoritism, yeah. Making him a worker, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Of course they caught on.
And
You
this
can't
was
hide
like
it.
inmates, or
You can only hide it for so long. Of course they caught on. And the reason that it is still illegal in prison and you cannot consent would be the same reason that a 14-year-old or 15-year-old girl cannot consent. She's not of age, but because she's in a vulnerable position. She may think she wants to do this, but maybe she does not. She doesn't know any better at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. She can't consent. And a woman in prison and a woman inmate can't consent because she's going to be considered to be in a vulnerable position. And that if she is consenting, she's only consenting because she's in this vulnerable position. Whether it be now you're going to give her favors, bring her food, etc. Same thing, vice versa. A man cannot consent because he's in a vulnerable position and he's being preyed upon, essentially, as I just alluded to. because of the position that he's in. These women who may sleep with a man correctional officer, these men correctional officers, they would never be bothered with on the street. They wouldn't get this individual the time of the day. And some of these men wouldn't get these women the time of the day on the street. So they're doing it because they are in prison. They are in dire straits. They are struggling in whatever way. They just need companionship because they are in a vulnerable position. Their humanity is being tested and emasculated daily. They want to feel human again. That's it. So you are taking advantage of a situation, so to speak.
Or coworkers.
Inmates.
So if an inmate is catching on to it, don't you think that a coworker is catching on to it?
Yeah, of course. There's cameras everywhere.
So you got to a point where you didn't even care that you're being watched this much.
Didn't care about nothing.
Is that safe to say?
Stop caring after a while.
Word.
I did.
What does that look like?
Looks bad.
But what does you not caring look like? Like what were you doing that proved that you wasn't caring?
Food. I told you, drinks, Gatorade, sodas.
Drugs.
Having him out as a worker and he's not even assigned worker on the pod.
Ratio.
Just pretty much always having him around at the desk.
So how did you get caught?
So I got his number. He goes and leaves from the county. He's upstate. Got in contact with his people. He calls me. So I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, now I really crossed the line. There's no going back.
Now you crossed the line?
Now. Because supposedly, from what I was told, your number gets ran through a database if you work inside any type of prison or institution.
That's crazy.
They said that they got a notification that my number popped up from someone that was in another facility. They were under the impression that this was someone that I knew outside of there. And they're like, well, why didn't you report that you knew him so we can separate you guys? I didn't know him. I met him at the jail. So that's initially what I got suspended for. So I was dating a guy on the outside. We broke up. And I had posted a picture to my Facebook story, right? We took a picture together at a hotel. And he did fit the image or the description of a street nigga. You know, he had dreads. He had all these tattoos. Tall as hell.
You got a type.
Yeah. Yeah. So, long story short, I upload the picture to my story. Now, at the time, I had a lot of friends on my Facebook page that were my co-workers at the jail. You get what I mean?
Of course.
So
what happened? Got
I
caught.
come back to work the next day. They're like, Ivy, you know, they said you dating somebody that was a released inmate. He just got out of the county. And you dating him. I said, what? Like, what? I'm like, dude's not even from here. Keep in mind, these dude that was dating, he was from out of town. He was from out of town. He never been an inmate at the county. Never even really been to Pittsburgh.
Yep, 3-0 fizzle. 3-0. So let me get this right. You done left the dude you were dealing with. I take it he was not your child's father, the born dude, because you just left him and you didn't say he's still taking care of the kid, or y'all just co-parenting or whatever. He wasn't the child's father. Because she said that she had a son. May have more than that, but she had alluded to in part one that she had a son. This dude was taking care of you and this child, the home and everything else. But he was born So you left him for the inmate, or you were cheating on him with the inmate. Then y'all broke up. You were already cheating. Cheater. And then while you're dealing with the inmate, you got some other dude now from out of town that resembles the inmate, that looks like him. So much so that they thinking that is him. But as she's saying, it's somebody, it's a whole nother dude. So the dude you messing with now on the street from out of town that you right here taking a picture with in the mirror in the bathroom, and he all up behind you, hugged up and all this, thinking you his squeeze, his girl, his piece of meat, his wifey. The whole time you dealing with an inmate. I guarantee you he didn't know that. I guarantee you she ain't told him. Well, I had another dude, and I broke up with him. She might have told him she broke up with the other dude or whatever. She ain't told him nothing about this inmate. I'm dealing with an inmate in there that I'm in love with. She said in part one she was in love with him. You ain't tell this other dude this, or he wouldn't be there taking a picture with you in the mirror. You ain't tell him I'm in love with another man in the prison that I work at. This food, this plate I just cooked you, and this stuff I'm putting in the bowl, I'm talking about is for me for lunch at work. This really going to him. This is really going to another man that I knew before I met you, that I've been in love with before I met you, who I want to be with when he gets out. It just so happened now he went to prison. He went to another institution. So he's just calling. We just talking on the phone, but I'm still in love with him because she already said in part one she's still in love with this dude. So this time she's taking a picture with this other dude. She's certainly in love with him. She still is now. But yet she has another dude. Or even the dude in the prison should be like, what's up? You mine or you hit? What's up? She's all over the place. You want to be saved?
Bro, I was seeing him out of town.
Were you dating him?
We was on and off. Yeah, we were on and off, but this was just somebody I was seeing about like once a month.
What made you post that picture?
On and off your knees.
I was getting like a lot of DMs at the time. People in my business wanted to know if I was single or not. So I just kind of wanted to shut that down. Like I was dating somebody.
Oh my God. This girl thinks she...
Right. Thinking I always got to prove something. You know what I mean?
What the...
Yeah.
So you go to show these people.
She thinks she's Ashanti. For real. I got all these people in my DM. You hear women talk like this all of the time. That they have all these men in their DM, not understanding that you may get a lot of attention from men. They may be in your DMs, blowing your head up about how beautiful you are and all of that. That all may be true. They just want to bed you. They want to put you to bed and then be done with you. They don't want to wife you. They don't want to wife you though. That's the thing. That's what you have to measure. How many men want to be with you in a relationship? Not how many men want to sleep with you. You'll find that anytime. The most unattractive woman can get a man to sleep with her. Men will take a pig with a wig. Yes, you have dudes in your DM that want to lay you down. That doesn't mean anything. Every woman has that in their DMs, even the most ugliest woman. The most unsightly of beings has that in their DMs. How many men want to stay with you after they're done with you? After they've done that with you, they still want you around forever. Clearly none, because you're single. That's what these women don't get. They keep inflating their egos because someone is in their DM. 100 dudes are in their DM. Okay, 100 dudes want to sleep with you. Yeah, all right. But not 100 dudes want to marry you, want to take care of you, want to provide and protect you. No, they just want to sleep with you. Recognize the difference, ladies.
Online, like, stop trying to holler at me. Let me post a picture of the dude that I'm seeing. Somebody at the jail sees the picture and it looks like one of the inmates and they report it.
That's supposedly, allegedly.
Allegedly, what happened?
That's allegedly what happened.
What happens next?
I told you, one of my coworkers pulled me to the side and gave me a heads up. I explained myself. I'm like, he's not an inmate. He's never been incarcerated at Allegheny County Jail.
He just fits the description.
Pretty much, yeah. He did look like I told you, a thug.
And the other guy that you were seeing in jail just got moved, so they don't know if he got freed or he got moved. They just think that y'all are together in this picture.
So no, this was way before me and him. Yeah, this was way before me and him, the inmate, started to establish some type of fraternization.
So before you even started fraternizing with this guy, this happened?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you started fraternizing with the guy?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't believe you.
Why didn't you just see that as like a huge warning? Like, oh my God, they're telling me that I'm dating an inmate and I'm clearly not. Why did you then go start dating the inmate?
Well, I didn't think that had anything to do. That was totally separate. This was my personal life. Now I get to work. I'm telling Chirac about my personal life, what they've been saying.
It just feels like if somebody accuses me of stealing and I never stole anything, that next month I wouldn't just go stealing.
No, that's what I did.
Got you.
Lie to you not. I started dating the dude at the jail, like right after me and him was like not messing around. Because he was driving trucks at the time, so I didn't really get to see him. He had like 4 baby moms. I couldn't take him serious. So I'm starting to tell dude about my situation. He started to like, and Miss Moore, you need to leave that nigga alone. Like, you know what I mean? So,
100 women versus accountability. They'll never take it. They're never going to take accountability. He had 4 baby mamas. Okay, you were ready to be number 5. You were still sleeping with him. So why bring that up now? Why use that as you cheated on him? Just say that. Oh my goodness, boy.
not lying. I started dating him right after.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's ironic. It's crazy, right?
It's very ironic.
Yeah, like it's crazy. But yes.
It's very ironic.
First
Yes.
time she's looking at the camera. Look at her body language. I'm not a body language expert.
At what
She's
point
a
did they say you no longer working for us?
I was on vacation.
Wow.
I'm at home, laying down. They called me up. Hey, Miss Moore, this is such and such at Allegheny County Jail. You know, we have to talk to you regarding a suspension. I knew what they were calling me about. I knew what the suspension was. They said, we'll call you right back. Give us about like 5 minutes. We're going to explain what's going on here. So boom, they called me back in like 5 minutes. And they're like, we have to suspend you for not reporting an inmate that you knew on the pod. So here I am. I'm trying to play it off. Like, what do you mean you trying to suspend me for somebody I knew on the pod? You know, the only person that was down there that I was related to, I had a family member that was down there, and I reported that work policy, and I was separated from him. But I'm trying to play it off. Like, what do you mean? And this and that. I knew I was caught.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did they end up suspending you? Did they fire you?
Yeah, they suspended me. They said, we'll call you in for a hearing. We got to do an investigation. We'll call you when you're ready. We'll call you when we're ready for your hearing. So they called me in for my hearing. That was about like 3 to 4 weeks almost. Without pay. Let me keep that in mind. Suspended without pay. And they called me. They called me in to the hearing. You want me to jump straight into the hearing, right?
Yeah, jump to
I go
it.
to the hearing.
Full of it.
And they sit me down. And they
Got
were
caught.
like, we need to do like a little brief,
Cheater.
question answer session with you. I'm going to ask you a brief couple questions.
Average looking cheater.
We're going to just go from there. So I get in there. I'm with a union rep, of course. And then they tell me, okay, how did you meet this guy? we have you down here that you knew 2 inmates initially. I knew 2 inmates. Now, I didn't, keep in mind, before I didn't know they were talking about, I had someone down there I had dated back in 2016, right? Stay with me. So I dated somebody back in 2016, and we were dating at the time. I had sent money on his books while he was upstate. Back in like 2018, 2019.
Prison groupie.
And they're like, well, we got to get you for this too because you didn't report this guy and he was on your pod. And I wasn't trying to report him. I mean, he was on drugs at the time. I didn't want to make it look like I had, I was dating somebody that was on drugs, He was a crackhead.
You was dating a crackhead? Why you only talking like you be? She only talking like she Beyonce. You was messing with another dude in prison back in the day, some years ago. Talking about she was already messing with him before you went to prison. When you went to prison, she put money on his book. I don't know about this woman, man. But I mean, hey, I ain't mad at her. Dudes in prison need women like her.
Now, at the time, he wasn't. So they got me for that. And I had no idea they had did an investigation on that as well, if that makes sense. So they're like, okay, well, what about the other guy referring to Chirac? They like, what about him? Now, in my head, I knew I was going to resign. I knew it was not going to be a good outcome. I knew they were going to terminate me. So I still went in there. I still fought. Tried to go ahead, tell my side of the story, but I don't think it would make a difference to say that I had knew him already.
The $1 million question.
Yes.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Did y'all have sex?
No.
What did y'all do?
We fraternized. Fraternization is talking about personal things, doing favors that I shouldn't be doing, such as bringing food in for him, drinks, things of that nature.
He had his own food, a hot dog, and you ate it. What are you talking about? Doing favors for him. You didn't have. Who do you think you talking to, lady? They ain't fired you because you brought him in some mac and cheese. Knock it off. Come clean, admit it all. You don't want to say that because you got another dude you with now that you was with at the same time or something. You had another one in the cut. This is crazy. Her hair is real long. Jeez. That's why she thinks she a baddie. Or it ain't her. Y'all cold.
Drugs?
No, I ain't never bring no drugs in.
Oh.
Did they say you brought in drugs?
They were accusing me of bringing in drugs.
Okay. So she still has a stake in this somewhere, somehow. That's why she's still in denial about some of the things that transpired. Maybe she has a case going. Maybe she's trying to get hired on to somewhere else in the same line of work, whatever. So she's not going to admit to everything. It's understandable. I ain't trying to throw you under the bus, sister. But you bent over. You touched your knees. That's for sure. You touched your ankles up in there. That's the whole point of a man trying to have a woman in prison. Damn your mac and cheese. The hell? No way. So they accuse her. They know. They do their investigation. They know the difference between someone who's just infatuated with an inmate and just bringing them in food and writing material, as opposed to someone he has her all the way gone and she's doing everything he tells her to do. Sex and drugs. And if they say they accused her of this, of bringing in this stuff, again, they know who's bringing it in and who's not. Once they do their investigation, they can say, okay, we did our investigation. Yeah, you were not bringing them in anything. but you were bringing him in food and you were in love with him or whatever. But yeah, we have concluded that you did not do that. For them to do their investigation and still accuse her of this, of bringing it in, they did an investigation. I know exactly what they probably did to try to prove that she was bringing this stuff in, but she's denying it, so that's fine.
Way before I was on the pod I was working on, I used to be on a different pod with another group of guys. I was accused of bringing in drugs, and in corrections, deuce, paper, K2, spice, whatever you want to name it, it is a big thing in facilities, in jails. Yeah.
How would a CO bring in drugs?
Smuggle them. Smuggle them. Put it inside your pocket. You had it. You might go ahead and had it in a different, different part of your body. There's ways to bring in drugs.
Y'all never had sex? Y'all never did anything?
No. That's what's crazy. A lot of people think we had sex. And I understand. I get it. Because these stories never end too well. You always hear about, you see it on the news all the time. Female getting caught up with a male inmate having sex, or, they got caught. No, first of all, at the facility I was working at, there's cameras everywhere.
So?
There's cameras on every corner. There's no cameras in the cell, but there's cameras.
That's what I was about to say. There are no cameras inside of that cell. And the fact that there were cameras there didn't stop you from doing anything else. We're not saying you had sex with them out in the open in the day room where there are cameras at. Of course not. You go into a laundry room, you go into the cell, there are blind spots. But I'm not here to prosecute this lady. Good looking out. We need you. She did one she looked out for the homies up in there. She took one for the team. She stayed down. Brought in that sack. Bent the thing over. She looked out, man. So shit, she a real one. It's all good.
On the pod. Enough to where you wouldn't get away with anything like that. And if you did go into an unauthorized area with an inmate, you're going to be questioned about it.
Yeah.
So how far did it go between y'all?
Up until he was on my pod, up until...
I guess sort of sexual thing y'all did.
I would see him with his shirt off in the cell. Yeah.
And what is he doing with his shirt off?
Well, when we had to do our rounds, we only walked around every half hour, every 30 minutes. And you couldn't be in the cell, like looking directly at the inmates, And if you are talking to somebody at their door, you better be like to the side talking to them so the camera can kind of see what's going on, like step to the side. You don't want to just veer in there just looking like that. So yeah, he would have his shirt off.
You told me he was jerking off? Said that she was sending him nudes?
I wasn't sending him nudes. What do you mean? No, I wasn't sending him nudes.
Was he jerking off?
I seen it. Yeah, I seen it.
What does your family think about this?
Probably like,
Oh.
I let them down. Not only my family, but
Whoa.
the friendships I had built with the co-workers I was working with at the time that still support me till this day. because no one knows what it's like working inside a jail unless you worked inside of a jail.
Oh, lady.
So besides my family, yeah, I'm embarrassed. You know, I'm ashamed of what I did. I regret what I did. But
Do you?
I tarnished my badge a little bit for an inmate.
That you still see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's gonna be a future with you two?
Friendship, maybe. Yeah, maybe a friendship.
Not
I don't want to rush anything. I want him to get himself together.
What was he in jail for?
Armed robbery. Robbery.
What was your upbringing like?
As a child, I played a lot of sports. I was sort of like I guess they say tomboy growing up. But I played a lot of sports. I was a good kid. Was I around a lot of gang activity and violence? Yeah, I've seen people get shot. Yeah. Did it affect me? No, because when you grow up
It did.
in areas like that, you want to just kind of just hold it in. You don't want to go ahead and say nothing because that's retaliation.
Whatever. It's going on, people. She says growing up around those sort of neighborhoods didn't affect her, but that's a lie. Because she wants a bad boy. She wants a dude that's just like that, a thuggish individual, a gang-type individual, and all that. She said the dude had long dreads with tattoos and all that. She wants this same thing that she grew up with. Nice guys finish last. She didn't want the nice guy. She couldn't even answer the question whether or not the dude whacked 100 her when she passed by the cell, whether he carjacked her. Yeah, he did. You know, they did more than that, but whatever. I'm not here to litigate the situation. Who knows what she's still going through because she's still denying some of this stuff. But there you have it. That's part 2. Lady there says her family is disappointed in her, I'm sure, upset with her and all of that. But she still says, as you heard, that he asked her if there was a future with her and this individual. And she said, yeah, or, possibly, or take it slow and be friends for now. Want him to get it together first. So she's contemplating, pondering, or at least has not ruled out by any means a relationship with this same individual that she lost her whole livelihood over. And it really just solidifies my point earlier. The fact that she said that he has to get it together before she be ready to get into a relationship with him or whatever, indicating the fact that he does not have it together. Of course, he just got out of prison, which means he didn't have it together in prison. He didn't have anything in prison. He didn't have any money in prison. He didn't have anything going for himself in prison. If he doesn't have anything when he gets out, it has to start from scratch. He may be rich in 3 months, but right now, starting off, he didn't have anything. To the point where you said he got to get it together first. But you had a man that had it together, that was providing and protecting. And as I said, you left him for someone who won't have anything. Get out of here. He got to get it together first. He got to get his life together. Well, you had a man who had his life together, but you can't help who you love. She had that man. She didn't want that man. She fell out of love with him, and that man shouldn't want her anymore. Can't force someone to be with you. I only want someone who wants me. I'm going to hit you up one time. What's up? If you say, if you hesitate, no, I don't know, and this and that, get the hell out. It's over. It's a wrap. Straight up. I got to feel that same energy that I have for you. If I don't feel that back, it's all bad. So you can't force someone to be with someone they don't want to be with. This is who she fell in love with. This is who she wanted to be with. This is who she was attracted to for whatever reason. It's hard to really criticize someone for that, but she ruined, I'm not going to say she ruined her life, but certainly her livelihood. She was making 6 figures from the job. But who knows what she's doing now? Maybe she's back on her feet. Maybe she's making 10 figures now. I don't know. People are disappointed in her, upset. She says she even feel like she tarnished the badge. She disappointed her co-workers, all this stuff, her family. So she's feeling it. She's feeling the heat. Yet that didn't stop her from saying that she may still be in a relationship with this individual soon. And they're just friends since then. Man, he over there beating that thing up every night. Anytime he feel like it, his friends in a relationship. He out of prison. You was all on me in prison, all this, and you already lost your job anyway. He over there. What are you talking about, lady? Who you think you fooling? He doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. He just coming over there doing what he got to do, and then he out. Stay safe and stay free, people.